おはようございます。今日は4月29日です。Today is Wednesday, April 29th. Online ordering is available now through May 14th for yard signs. Those yard signs, there's two options. One is We Support Urbandale Education, and also a congratulations class of 2020. Proceeds go to the Urbandale Education Foundation and to the Urbandale Food Pantry. If you're interested in one of those yard signs, you can get those at www.urbandaleeducationfoundation.com. Money goes to a good cause. Fall sports sign up is available at www.jhawks.com. That's j-hawks.com. At urbandaleschools.com, there's a long list of COVID-19 resources and services. Some of those services available include child care, English language assistance, financial assistance, and mental health resources. So definitely reach out. Urbandale Food Pantry is available on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and 2 to 5 p.m. You should take a look at Mr. Carver's newsletter. There's a lot of cool things in it. For seniors, you should know that the CPR requirement for this year has been waived. Also, next week there's going to be a locker clean out, so your lockers are being emptied and put into individual boxes with your name on it. So your items in your lockers will be available next week. So look into Mr. Carver's newsletter for more details. Also, Mr. Birdwell made this inspiring video. Has some really cool pictures in it. Definitely take a look at that awesome video Mr. Birdwell made for the class of 2020. Alright. And grab-and-go meals are also available from 11 to 12:30 at 6 locations throughout Urbandale. Those locations are Timberland and Meredith, 11 to 11:20, Bristol Ridge from 11:30 to 11:50, Cross Creek from 12 to 12:30, Jensen Elementary from 11 to 11:20, Karen Acres Elementary from 11:30 to 11:50, and Valerius Elementary from 12 to 12:30. Over 600 people a day are being served through that, so man, they're doing great work there. All right. Today's birthdays for Wednesday, April 29th, Hannah Field and Gary Grijalva. Happy birthday to you. Alright, today I'm going to be reading to you from this book. It's called Burn Your Portfolio. Stuff they don't teach you in design school but should. Burn Your Portfolio. Pretty interesting little book. Picked this up, I think, at Barnes & Noble. It's probably more interested in all the little doodles on the border of this book than anything else. And then I picked it up and started reading a few entries and thought, this is pretty good stuff. So, anyway, Burn Your Portfolio. The section's called Two Types of Grandpas. Bad things happen to good people. It's a fact. No matter how talented and filled with integrity you are, you will have some pretty miserable professional moments. You might find yourself laid off and have trouble finding a new job. You might have to deal regularly with an overbearing, idiotic, know-it-all boss. Perhaps you'll lose money, maybe even a lot of it. Clients will abuse you and pull projects from you. Some clients may even drop you as a vendor through no apparent fault of your own. You'll probably get stiffed on an invoice or two or three. Late nights will happen. There will be bugs in your code or computer crashes that make you go prematurely gray. Clients will change scope on a project over and over again and still expect you to execute for the same amount of money. The best comps you have ever created may be thrown in the trash with instructions to go back to the drawing board. Your proverbial bus will probably roll over you again and again. You can't avoid it. These things happen in nearly everyone's career. Everything in the above list has happened in mine. There's virtually nothing you can do to prevent the inevitable, but the one thing you have control over is how you react. You have control over yourself. Through it all, how you use that control will mean one of two things will happen. You will either become Grandpa number one or Grandpa number two. Grandpa number one is the guy who everybody knows and secretly fears. Perhaps he lived down the street when you were a kid. He has the old crotchety character sitting on the front porch. Every time you come near his yard, you were nervous that he'd start yelling at you and stay off his grass. Maybe he falsely accused you of stepping on his flowers. Most likely he has a BB gun on his lap, waiting for his neighbor's dog to set just one foot on his lawn. Grandpa 1 is a grumpy old man who seems to be against everything in the world. Everything he sees is negative. The world is circling the drain on the way to perdition, he thinks. Grandpa number 2 is quite different. Most people know a Grandpa number 2. He's the guy who has all the answers. His gentle, patient soul calms the whole family, all the way down to the great-great-grandkids. He is admired and revered by all who know him. He has seen it all in his life and therefore can help guide you through the challenges that come your way. He is a sage, a captain, a tried and true leader. When the world is in chaos all around, Grandpa number 2 calmly says, "All this will pass and we'll be just fine." Grandpa 1 and Grandpa 2 probably had similar lives. Both, like everyone else in the world, had their fair share of challenges and trials. The big difference between the two, however, is how they choose to deal with adversity. And these choices had a lot to do with the things they said to themselves in their toughest times. Throughout his life, as the world raged on around him, Grandpa 1 likely said things like this: "Who's to blame for this problem? Because it certainly isn't me. This sucks. One more thing like this and I'm quitting. The man is keeping me down. My boss is such a jerk." On the other hand, Grandpa number 2 probably viewed things differently and asked himself this: what can I learn from this experience? What do I need to change in my life so I don't have this same challenge again? How can I help others avoid this problem? What steps do I need to take to remedy this situation? This simple difference in point of view meant Grandpa number 1 grew to become an unapproachable grump, while Grandpa number 2 grew to become patient and wise. How we turn out in life has everything to do with how we respond to the challenges we inevitably will face. Pay attention to the things you say to yourself the next time your boss shoots down your comps or a client chews you out. Who are you becoming? Grandpa number 1 or Grandpa number 2? And that's from Burn Your Portfolio. Have a great day, UHS.